And welcome back to your English class. So we are going to continue in the previous class we learned the visit to the mansion, isn't it? So we are going to continue the lesson. So what happened in the last class, children? Joe was he was sorry, not Joe. Laurie was alone in the house, and he thought someone visit him that made him delighted, isn't it? And Joe bought what the sweet dish blancmange, isn't it? And he thanked him, isn't it? And she carried some pets also with her. So after this, what happened? Okay, I'm going to start from page number 16. Last line. Okay, is Beth the rosy one who sometimes goes out with a little basket? Asked Laurie with interest. Okay, yes, that is Beth. She told. Yes, that is Beth. The pretty one is Meg. The pretty one is Meg. And the curly hair one is Amy, I believe. Laurie passed. So Laurie is asking now. Okay, the pretty one is Meg, maybe. And curly hair one is Amy, I believe. Okay, he then added shyly, I often hear you talking to each other. Always you people will be talking to each other. Sometimes when I see you all sitting around the table with your mother, it's like looking at a picture. Looking at a picture. Laurie poked the fire to hide the sudden trembling of his lips. So here poke the fire means move the wood in a fire with a long stick to make burn brightly. Okay. So Joe was touched. She was touched means she felt sorry for him. Okay, because Joe's family was very big, but Laurie's family was very small. He was with his grandfather, so that's why he was missing all the things. Okay, so that's why she felt very sorry for him. While he was unwell and lonely, she was happy at home with her mother and sisters. You could just come and visit us, she said gently. Mother would be glad to welcome you, and you'll have jolly times with my sisters and me. Wouldn't your grandpa let you? Yes, unwell. Children underline unwell, opposite of unwell, well. Okay. I think, underline think, past form of think is thought. THOUGHT. Okay. I think he would if I asked. Is very kind, but he thinks I might disturb strangers. Strangers means unknown. Okay, unknown person. Said Laurie. We are not strangers. We are not strangers. We are your neighbors. We are your neighbors, and you won't disturb us. You won't disturb us. Then Joe and Laurie started talking about books. Joe was delighted to find that Laurie also loved books and had read more books than her. So here what happened, children? So when Joe wanted to read the books, he wanted to talk with her, isn't it? He wanted to know more about her family. And then, why did Laurie hide the trembling of his lips when he talked about seeing her family together? He did not want her to see that he was sad. Okay, to be a lonely child. And how many sisters does Joe have? Yes, as a lonely boy, he might have been watching them and heard them calling out to one another, isn't it? Yes. And why did Joe invite Laurie to her home? Because she felt sad about him, isn't it? And because he was lonely while she had a large family. Also, she knew he would have good times with them, isn't it? And how did Joe assure Laurie that he was welcome, always welcome? Because she told him that he would not be disturbing them since they were neighbors. Okay, and neighbors are meant to be neighborly, means friendly, isn't it? So here, what did Joe like about Laurie children? Yes, he was interested in books, isn't it? And her, like her only, he was also interested in books and had read many more of them, isn't it? Yes. Next page, turn the page. Yes. If you like them so much, come down to our library. If you like so much about the books, if you are having any interest, please come down to the library. Laurie offered. Grandpa is not home, isn't home. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. You come to the library. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anything, Jo replied, tossing her head. Laurie laughed and led her through the rooms. He let her examine that whatever struck her fancy. So here, children, struck her fancy means made her curious. Okay, she was very curious. At last, they reached the library where Jo clapped her hands and danced with delight. She was so happy by seeing the library. And at last, they reached the library where Jo clapped her hands and danced with delight. It was lined with books. And then there were pictures and statues. Strange little tables. It was lined with books. And then there were pictures and statues, strange little tables, and bronze pieces, metal, okay, metal alloy, pieces, and best of all, a great open fireplace with quaint tales all around. So here quaint means pretty and old fashioned tales. Okay, yes. What richness, sighed Jo, sinking into a chair and gazing around her. Theodore Lawrence, you should be happiest boy in the world. So now she is saying, yes, you are the happiest boy in the world. Underline happiest, other gender of happiest, happy, happier, happiest. Okay. Yes. No one can live on books, said Laurie, shaking his head as if perched on a table. Here, children, perched. Perched means sat on a narrow surface. Okay. Okay. Yes. No one can live on books, said Laurie, shaking his head as he perched on a table. Just then a bell rang, and Jo flew up. Alarmed. It's your grandpa. What shall I do? Well, what if it is? You said you're not afraid of anything, remember? Said Laurie, laughing. So, but it was only the doctor who had come to check on Laurie. It was not grandpa, it was doctor to check Laurie. And would you mind if I left you for a minute? Laurie asked. Jo shook her head and went off to look at a portrait of old Mr. Lawrence. So she was seeing the picture of his grandfather. She was still standing before the portrait when the door opened again. So again the door opened. Jo did not turn as she said, I won't be afraid of your grandpa. She thought it is Jo. Okay. He looks stern, but he has kind eyes and I like him. So what she said, yes, I won't be afraid of your grandpa. He looks stern. Children underline stern. Stern means serious. Okay. And but he has kind eyes and I like him. But he has kind eyes and I like him, she said. Thank you, ma'am, said gruff voice. gruff voice behind her. So here gruff means rough. Okay, and there to Joe's great dismay. Okay, a mix of alarm and shame when something unexpected happens. Okay, stood old Mr. Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence is very amused and invites Joe to tea. Okay, there were there and Laurie talk merrily. Mr. Lawrence realizes how lonely Laurie had been and decides to send him to the March's house occasionally. Okay, so now what happened, children? How do we know that Joe is right? When she says she isn't afraid of anything, isn't it? She threw a snowball at his window to attract his attention and made the first attempt to make friends with him, her neighbor. And why was Joe impressed with Laurie's house? Because it was a grand mansion. Okay, it was looking like a palace. Mansion means palace. Okay, with a many well furnished rooms and a large library, isn't it? And what did Laurie say when Joe told him he should be the happiest boy in the world? He told her he may have a wealthy house, but he was still lonely and so could not be really happy. He was not happy. Why did Joe get into a panic when the doorbell rang? Yes, she was afraid that it could be Mr. Laurie, isn't it? Laurie's grandfather, and wondered that he would have to say about her in intruding. What did Joe do while the doctor was checking on Laurie? Yes, she started at Laurie's grandfather's portrait to make out what kind of person he would be. Okay, was Joe really as brave as she said? No, isn't it? She wasn't, because she was afraid that his grandfather had come when the doorbell rang earlier, and when he had actually come in and heard that what she had said about him, isn't it? Yes, children. In this lesson, Joe is bold, isn't it? Bold for girl of those times. She had noticed her neighbor and Laurie being a lonely boy, and tries to make friends with him. She is also careful to wait until his grandfather is out before she attracts Laurie's attention and gets invited inside. Coming from a middle class family, she is suitably impressed by the show of wealth and class at the mansion, isn't it? And Laurie is happy to welcome a visit by his neighbor. So is a lonely boy, isn't it? Watching the warmth of the March family as an outsider. Okay, he feels that his wealth is no match for their joy of family togetherness, isn't it? He is a polite host while showing Joe around the house and excusing himself before going to his doctor. He is open and friendly teasing Joe about being scared when she had professed she was not afraid, and also confessing that a person cannot be happy with only wealth, isn't it? Yes, Laurie has wealth, but and class, and he was very rich, isn't it? He was a caring grandfather who provides but does not have parents and siblings to provide the joys of the family, isn't it? And Joe comes from middle class family with no wealth to speak of, but she has parents and sisters and the confidence that comes from the sense of belongings, isn't it? Yes. What is the outcome of this lesson, children? So two main characters, and their way of living, isn't it? And what is more important for happiness? We are going to learn outcome of this lesson. What is more important for the happiness and the neighborly goodness that exists, isn't it? Yes. Next meanings. So mansion means what, children? A large impressive house, isn't it? Large impressive house. And next, briskly means with a lot of energy. Okay, briskly means with a lot of energy. Poke the fire means move the wood in a fire with a long stick to make it burn. Flew up means stood up very fast. And dismay, a mix of alarm and shame when something unexpected happened. So that's all about the lesson, children. Please sit and read this lesson. Okay, let us meet in the next session. I hope you all enjoyed today's session. Thank you, children.